Most people believe that their past is the biggest reason they cannot manifest what they want. They think their past relationships define how future relationships will go. They think because they were rejected before, they will be rejected again. Because they struggled with money before, they will always struggle. Because things didn't work out earlier, something must be wrong with them. And honestly, this belief feels very real because your mind keeps reminding you of everything that has already happened. It feels logical to say that the past created the present, so it must also control the future. But this is exactly where people go wrong in manifestation. The truth is, your past has absolutely no power over you unless you keep giving it power in the present moment. The past is not sitting somewhere controlling your life. It exists only as a memory in your mind, and your mind is operating right now. So if your present thinking changes, your entire life direction changes. Not tomorrow, not someday, but starting now. Let's understand this deeply, because this is where most people stay stuck for years without realizing it. Your past is not a physical force. It is not something that is actively happening. It is simply a collection of memories, interpretations, and meanings that your mind keeps replaying. And every time you think about your past, you are not revisiting reality. You are recreating it in the present moment. That means when you say things like, "I always get ignored," or "relationships never work for me," you are not describing the past. You are reinforcing an identity in the present. This is why two people can go through similar situations but end up with completely different lives. One person uses the past as proof of limitation, while the other uses it as motivation to redefine themselves. The events may be the same, but the meaning they attach to those events is completely different. And manifestation does not respond to what happened. It responds to who you believe you are right now. Think about this carefully. If manifestation is happening in the present moment, then your current assumptions, your current identity, and your current emotional state are what actually matter. Not what happened last year, not what someone said to you 5 years ago, not how things ended before. All of that is finished. It only continues to exist because you keep bringing it into your present awareness. This is where your power is, not in changing the past, but in changing how the past exists inside your mind today. Your past has acted like a subconscious programmer. Every experience you went through created certain beliefs about yourself, about love, about money, about life. If you experience rejection, your mind may have created a belief that you are not chosen. If you experience lack, your mind may have created a belief that things are hard to get. And without even realizing it, you start living from these beliefs as if they are facts. But here's the truth. These beliefs are not reality. They are conclusions. And conclusions can always be changed. The problem is not that your past happened. The problem is that you accepted a version of yourself because of it. You made it mean something about you. And then you carried that meaning into your present life. So when you try to manifest something new, like a relationship or success, there is a part of your mind that resists it. Not because it is impossible, but because it feels unfamiliar compared to the identity you have been holding. This is why people say manifestation is not working. It is not that manifestation is not working. It is that your current identity is still aligned with your past, not your desire. Now here is where things get really powerful. If the past only exists in your mind, and your mind exists in the present, then that means the past is not fixed. It is flexible. It is something you can reinterpret, reshape, and even revise. You don't need to erase your past. You need to change the way it lives inside you. For example, instead of seeing a failed relationship as proof that you are not loved, you can start seeing it as something that helped you understand your worth more clearly. Instead of seeing rejection as something that defines you, you can see it as something that redirected you. The event stays the same, but the meaning changes. And when the meaning changes, your identity starts to shift. There is also a deeper level to this. You can actually revise your past in your imagination. Not just logically reinterpret it, but emotionally re-experience it the way you wish it had happened. This is not about lying to yourself. This is about understanding that your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. So if you take a past memory that still affects you and you imagine it unfolding in a way that supports your desired identity, you begin to dissolve the emotional charge attached to it. You are no longer reacting from that old version of yourself. You are creating a new internal reference point. And once your internal reference changes, your external reality starts to follow. This is why the present moment is everything in manifestation. Because right now, you are deciding who you are, not based on what happened, but based on what you choose to believe. Right now, you can either say, this is how things have always been for me, or you can say, this is who I am becoming. And that choice is happening in this moment. When it comes to relationships, this becomes even more important. Many people carry their past into their future without realizing it. They expect the same patterns, the same disappointments, the same outcomes, and because they expect it, they unconsciously create it again. But imagine approaching a relationship from a completely new identity. Not as someone who has been hurt before, but as someone who is chosen, valued, and secure. That version of you does not react the same way. That version of you does not chase, overthink, or doubt constantly. And because your behavior and energy are different, the experience you create is also different. You are not repeating your past because it is destined. You are repeating it because you are identifying with it. And the moment you stop identifying with it, the cycle breaks. This is also why letting go of the past is often misunderstood. Letting go does not mean forgetting everything or pretending nothing happened. It means releasing the identity you formed because of it. It means no longer using your past as evidence for your limitations. You can remember your past without being controlled by it. And when you reach that point, something shifts. You stop reacting automatically. You stop expecting the worst. You stop living in defense mode. And you start creating your life consciously instead of repeating it unconsciously. So how do you actually use your past to your advantage? You use it as awareness, not as identity. You look at your patterns and recognize what you have been assuming about yourself. You become aware of the beliefs you have been carrying, and then you consciously choose something different. You stop saying, this is how I am, and you start saying, this is what I learned, and now I choose differently. You take the emotional charge out of old memories. You revise them if needed. You reinterpret them in a way that empowers you. And most importantly, you stop bringing them into your present as proof of why things cannot change. Because everything changes the moment you stop repeating the same story. Your power has never been in your past. Your power has always been in your awareness, in your ability to observe your thoughts, question them, and choose new ones. Right now, in this moment, you can decide that your past does not define you, that your old experiences do not dictate your future, that who you were is not who you have to be. And the more you live from that decision, the more your reality begins to reflect it. Manifestation is not about fixing the past. It is about realizing that the past was never in control to begin with. It is about understanding that the only place creation happens is now. And if you truly understand this, you stop waiting for things to change. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop looking for reasons in your past. You start creating from where you are, because this moment is not influenced by your past unless you let it be. And once you stop letting it be, everything becomes possible. I hope this helped you. I will meet you with another golden nugget soon. Happy manifesting.